I got not one, not two, but three heavy hitters. For the sake of the drill, I'm going to introduce the first one, and I'm going to let them introduce their business partners each. The first gentleman I want to bring up, let me give you some staggering statistics. This is edification. Let me give you some staggering statistics. Number one, he already had an 800 credit score and took his 805 to an 815 by using Credit Max. He is a proponent of all four pillars, and he and his brother are the founders of Power Builders, who represent every single pillar in some form or fashion, from Money Max to a 4-figure pay raise per month, to Credit Max. They're in the 800 club. He is in particular. The Equity Max millionaire date has already been set. Bills are being shredded. Wealth Max, you heard his brother earlier. He's one half of Power Builders. You heard his brother earlier talk about his contribution to his private reserve account. This gentleman has been in this industry for over 20 years. He's earning a full-time income doing MWR part-time. Let me say this again. He's earning full-time income doing the business part-time. He just produced the most recent district director in the organization last week, and did so on the heels of losing his father at the same time. I know I lost my father this year, so I know what it takes to stay persistent, keep the faith, stay plugged, stay focused. He's still popping district directors. He'll be the next regional director to pop in the extra digit movement. He is second to none when it comes to training. I want you guys to do me a big favor as I unmute everybody to open up. You guys, come off mute with a mindset training to start the day. Give it up for Mr. Chuck Hardon. Y'all give him an audio round of applause. Hello. All right, Chuck, I meant every word, man. Let me pass over the host. Chuck, you got slides?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me give you the host capabilities, and then you take it from here, my brother. Watch your clock, because you got some heavy hitters behind you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Awesome, man. Hey, but before I get started talking about myself, talking about this awesome training that we get a chance to share with you guys today, I definitely have to first give it back. Not only the founder of the Extra Digit Movement, but the creator of the vision of what we're doing with this company, you guys. We are so excited that we get an opportunity to have a person that's a pace setter, meaning he sets the pace high so we can all have something to strive for. Already very successful, but still in the trenches doing things every single day to help people create success. So, Mr. Brian Bean, not only you my friend, man, we know each other for almost 40 years. You know what I'm saying? That's a long time. It makes it sound old. You know, that's crazy, right? But man, appreciate everything that you do and everything that you do for the team and the organization, bro. Thank you oh so much, and for the phone calls and everything that you did while we going through our time of, celebrating Pop's life, man. I do appreciate that, because I know you had a lot of moving parts, a lot of things going, but you always stayed right there and kept that friendship intact, man. That means a whole lot to me, bro. So I appreciate you.
I appreciate you, man. Knock them out.
Awesome, you guys. And we're going to go ahead and jump into this information. Like Mr. Bean said, we do have a limited time that we get a chance to share with you guys today, but I do want to let you know that we do speak from a position of strength, because my conversation with you guys today is going to all be about getting your mindset, getting the right mindset up here. Because if you end up here, everything else we do in this business becomes very, very simple. It's very, very simple, and I can almost say it's easy, but I'm going to say it's simple because we have a simple format that we follow. You know, like Mr. Bean said, I've been in this industry for a very, very long time, but it took a while. I wasn't the person that had that overnight success. You know, I had to go in, I had to fail a whole lot. I had to trial and error. I had to do all the things that you guys are going through. So as I speak to you guys today, I really want to talk to the people that are just getting started, because my conversation is going to resonate whether you've been in the business for 3 months or you've been in the business for 3 days. This is going to make sense to you. And I just want to prepare you for the journey that you're about to go on. I want to prepare you for the evolution that's about to happen in your life, just from following the system. Because what we do, the better you get, the better everything else around you gets. So this industry, this business is like a self-development course with a compensation plan attached. So you get paid to get better. And the better you get, it doesn't just affect you in this business. My conversation today is going to affect every part of your life because you are the X factor in your life. It's you and your job. It's you and your business. It's you and your kids. It's you and your church. You are always there. So remember, the better you get, you can bring everything else up around you. Okay. So my conversation today, let me pull up my slides real quick. It is a mindset training. All right. So understand. Let's see. How do I share this? Bam, make it big. Perfect. Okay. So if you change the way you think, you can change your world. So we call this particular training the Fantastic Four. Yes, right. Mr. B told you our organization is called the Power Builders Organization because me and my brother grew up watching cartoons and watching reading Marvel comic books. So we really love the comic book series. But my favorite comic books are the ones that require a team to be successful. You know, I never liked the ones where one person can dominate everybody. I like when you need a team of people in order to make things happen. And the Fantastic Four, I use them to kind of do an analogy for each one of the phases that you will go through as you build your business. So as we go through this, I want to be sure that you guys took a little time to grab a pen, grab a pad, because you are going to need to take some notes. We got to go quick. So I want you to be able to go back and look at your notes, all right? So this is the Fantastic Four. There are 4 phases or 4 stages that you go through when you build your business. I want you to write these down. You have the foundation, you have the function, you have the feel, and you have the flow. I'll give y'all a second to write that down. The foundation, the function, the feel, and the flow. So again, when you just get started, we don't expect you to be an expert day one. We don't expect you to be a professional day one. And the biggest challenge that a lot of people have is that you're already probably successful in something that you do with your career right now. You've already earned the ranks in the jobs that you work at and positions that you hold. And what you want to do is you want to take that position that you hold in corporate America and unilaterally bring that over to this industry, and it might not work the exact same way. You have to be willing to be new. You have to be willing to start from the beginning. Right? I tell a lot of people in my team, when they get started, I love their excitement, their energy, but I have to sometimes let them know, hey, look, you have to learn how to add before you learn how to multiply. You can't go from 2nd grade to 5th grade. It's a few things you got to pick up in between. Not to slow you down, but just to understand you got to learn the process because time in this industry is irrelevant. A lot of people will tell me, I've been doing this, Chuck, for 6 months. I've been in this industry for 5 years. That's really irrelevant if you haven't been doing it the right way, all right? So as we go through this conversation, understand this all about your evolution through this industry. So let's compare this to the iceberg theory, okay? It's stated that 17% of an iceberg is what you see above water, only 17%. 83% is below water. How does that compare to you? Because when you're doing the bit, when people see you on a day-to-day basis, they only see 17% of who you really are. Just 17%. 83% they have no idea about. And what most people do is they try to dress up the 17%. That's why they buy the clothes they can't really afford. That's why they buy the cars they can't really afford. Because we live in the era right now, we live in the land of the phony, fake, and flossing, where people would rather look rich than to get rich. So they try to dress everything up to make themselves feel better instead of doing what needs to be done, which is build up the foundation, build up the 83%. Because as the 83% of the iceberg gets better or gets bigger, the 17% shoots up a little more. Right? And that just doesn't go for us. That goes for anybody that we see. So anyone you see, you only see 17%, right? So how do we do that? What is necessary to build up and continue to grow with the iceberg theory, right? So first we have to work on the foundation. Now with the foundation, I use the thing as the foundation. Now this person was made of pure rock, right? This character was made of pure rock. He weighed 2 tons, but he could lift 75 tons. Huge, massive guy, right? And I use him because everything is built on the foundation of who you are. This is your philosophy of life. This is how you operate. Okay, so who you are and how you operate on a day-to-day basis every single day is your philosophy of life. And this is the biggest and normally the longest stage in the process. I'm gonna give you guys a philosophy, right? I'm gonna give you guys two different ones so you kind of relate, right? You have a philosophy, most likely at your job, you have a philosophy. And your philosophy is probably, especially if you've been there a long time, I'm gonna do just enough so I don't get fired. So I'm gonna do just enough so I don't get fired. But guess what? Your boss has philosophy too. He's gonna pay you just enough so you don't quit. So y'all just kind of balancing that thing out to see who gonna fade first, right? That's a philosophy of life. All right. So what we have to do when it comes to what we're building is we have to build up the philosophy of life, because this is what you have to understand. A person that earns $30,000 a year cannot earn $30,000 a month. A person that earns $30,000 a year cannot earn $30,000 a month. Not saying the individual can, but that mindset has to change. You have to evolve into that person. And the great thing is, because we are human beings, we can. We can. I love Brian's basic instinct trainings, because a lot of the animals that he talk about, that's how they're set. They have to be that way. Because we're human beings, we can evolve and change and adjust and shift. So you can adjust, because the better you get, again, the better your money gets. Now the question becomes, how do I build my foundation? What do I need to do to make me a better me? Good question. Let me show you. All right? The first thing we have to do is replace some habits. We have to replace habits. Good habits are the key to all success. Bad habits are the unlocked door of failure. Now that's not Chuck Hardon, that's actually Ogmandingo, but it is oh so true. What you do on a day-to-day basis, the habits you have formed have gotten you to where you are right now. And that's good, bad, or indifferent. In order to go better, we have to create better habits. And you can't just stop a habit, you have to replace a habit. So these are some of the things you can do to help build this up, which is your foundation, consistently. Stop watching the news. I mean, I don't mean minimize it, just stop watching it all the way around. 95% of what you see on the news is negative, because that's what sells. The news broadcast, it is a business. They give information, but it's a business. So negativity sells. And I know somebody just said, well, Mr. Hardon, I got to watch the news. I got to know what's going on. You know what's going on. Somebody going to tell you. You don't got to watch the news to see it. You'll see it on social media. You'll see it somewhere, right? Stop watching the news. The only thing you need the news for is to see if it's going to rain or not. And you can watch the Weather Channel for that. All right? You don't have to watch. You already know who you're going to vote for. Okay, you already know that. You need to watch the news to see that, right? Second thing you can do is turn your car into a self-improvement center. So when you're in your vehicle, turn your car into something that feeds you and builds you. Mr. Bean just mentioned the YouTube channel for Extra Digit Movement, right? You can turn that on. Let me say, I love Tigger. Tigger's not going to help you become a better person and build you up. You can listen to all the morning shows you want to, but it's not going to build you. As you driving to work, and even if you have your kids in the car, my kids just had to get used to it. This is what we listen to. I don't care if you like it or not. You need to get better too. So turn your car into a personal self-development center. So you can go to the YouTube channel and just hit play on your phone, and it will continue to play. Every single, if you got 30 minutes in your car, 45 minutes in your car, that's time for you to program you, right? Second thing you can do is write your goals down and repeat them every day. Write them down. Right? A goal isn't a goal unless it's on paper and has a date attached to it. We got a full goal setting and goal achieving training that we can go through, but you got to at least write it down. That way you can put it up so you can see it every single day. And then say it out loud to yourself. So you're programming yourself on what you're going to get done. Those are a few things you can do to build your foundation. Let me give you some other people you can listen to. Jim Rohn, one of my personal favorites. Just type Jim Rohn in YouTube and just hit play. He got you covered, right? A lot of people might like Eric Thomas. You can go with Eric Thomas. Something that's building you. I'm going to definitely recommend the Extra Digit YouTube because it's building you specifically for this business and for this industry, right? So that's step number one, is the foundation. We have to build that up. And that continues to happen. It never stops. You never stop growing, right? Number two, or the second stage, is the function. Now I use Mr. Fantastic to help me get the function down. His ability was that he could adjust his body to any shape and any form. He could just stretch and become a table, chair, ball, whatever it is. He could adjust to anything. Mr. Fantastic, this function part is how you run your day-to-day business. Now we're talking specifically about your business and this business and how we run it. Because what we do is really simple. We educate people on finances and the economy. That's all we do is just educate people. We don't get people in, right? I don't even use the word recruiting anymore. We enroll people into this process of people that want to do what we are doing. Very simple what we do. Number one, customers are easy. The first thing I do is be your own customer, right? Let me take the show off right real quick. You have to be a product of your product. You will never need to explain it, but I promise you, once you use it, your confidence about it is different. Once you use TaxBot and you can understand how you're writing off your lifestyle, your confidence is different. You have to be a product of your product, right? So you have to use, like Mr. Bean said, me and my brother use every part of the membership because now I don't have to explain it to you. I can just tell you what it has done for me, and that helps you build your business. So let me give you one great thing when it comes to customers and getting customers, because that is what we do. We do get customers. So when people ask me, how'd you get your credit score to 817? What did they do to get your credit score to 817? Let me give you the best response. Not for any part of the membership that you use. They ask, how did they do that? This is what you say. I don't know. All I know is I gave my information. My credit score went to 817. That's all I know. See, what some of you guys are doing, try to explain, well, what they did was they sent in certain letters, and then the letters, they had 30 days to respond back. Irrelevant. Let me tell you what's going to make you money. I don't know. All I know is I sent them my 3 credit report, and my credit score jumped up 50 points. I sent them my 3 credit report, and my credit score jumped up 80 points. You don't have to act like we are the experts. That's not our role in this company. We are not the experts. When they ask, how'd you get an instant pay raise, right? When you're brand new, understand, I don't know. All I know is I sent in 2 pay stubs and my last year tax returns, and I got an extra $150 on my next paycheck. That's all I know. Be okay with being new. Be okay with not having to know everything. That makes you way more money. Ignorance on fire works way better than knowledge on ice. All right? So be okay with that. So just so you guys don't know, write it in your notes. You can type it in the chat. When they ask, how did that happen? You say, I don't know. All I know is, and I don't even know, all I know is I gave them my information and they gave me a debt-free date in the next 7 years. That's all I know. All right? So that's how we get customers, okay? Being a product of the product. Now, of course, the next part is really simple. What we do is we prospect. We have 5 P's of prospect. You're going to hear this in Mr. Bean's training. We peak, present, pass, plug in, promote. 5 P's of prospecting. We peak, present, pass, plug in, promote. As you get some of the other training, we're going to go into a little more detail about that. But let me tell you the best peak interest that I still use right now to this day.
Hey, Chuck,
my best peak interest.
Freeze 1 second. Is it just me, guys, or can y'all see him? Chuck, you went somewhere, man. We see a total black screen for like the past maybe 90 seconds. Did you do anything different?
I didn't do anything different, but my computer is looking like it's doing something. Hold on. Okay, it's Ricky.
Do a quick pull up a try to unstick it by pulling up a slide. Is your slide up?
Yep, it's up and moving. Hold on, but I don't think it's wait a minute. Okay. You're right. Okay.
I want to make sure before you get into that peak, I want to make sure they see what you think they're seeing.
Okay. Okay, it's reconnecting, pulling back up. Look, it says it's spinning right now. Give me about 30 seconds. But I'm not going to show anything.
I just want to make sure you know that it. I'll let you know when you come back, but go ahead and talk it through.
Cool, appreciate it. Okay, you guys, look, when it comes to peak and interest, we keep it really, really simple. Really, really, this is my favorite peak interest phrase. Have you ever heard of income shifting? Y'all write that down. Write it down. Have you ever heard of income shifting? I don't say you're used to the W. Have you ever adjusted your W-4? Have you, sent in your letters for the credit repair? No. It's really simple. No error has occurred. Please join the meeting from the browser. Join from browser. Okay. It's telling me to reconnect. Right. So it's very simple when it comes to the peak in interest because it's simple. Have you ever heard of income shift? Another great phrase you can use. Another one you can use. Have you ever heard of private banking? See, these are just phrases that you can say that make people think, man, I've never heard of that. I would love to be able to take advantage of that. Oh, man, is my internet all the way down? I think it is. Have you ever heard of private banking?
So if you want, I can do a quick pivot for you. If you want to reboot, I'll take that part for you. Or
Cool.
Sean or Rich, you want to take that part for him real quick? And while he do a quick pivot, he can reboot and come back. It's up to you guys. All right, I'll do it. Okay, so Chuck, go ahead and just come back.
Okay.
All right. So guys, I'm gonna pick that up real quick while he knocks that out. So what he's basically saying is, if you want to pique a person's interest, just ask questions, right? So, but you don't. Here's the thing. Here's the big difference with EDM. We don't really pique, believe it or not, on the business opportunity because people run from money. People run from money. But what they do, what they never run from is making their money better. So if you notice, we always use words like income shifting, not business opportunity. We always use words like cash flow expansion, not join my business. You see the difference? When you educate people, 99% of the population wants to at least know more knowledge about money and finances. 99% of the population is scared to make some more money because that requires work and they feel like they're already busy enough. So what he's saying is, have you ever heard of is a great way, even if it's text message, right? Verbally or text message. Just get your nervous jitters out the way and start asking people, have you ever heard of income shifting? Have you ever heard of land banking? Have you ever heard of private banking? Have you ever heard of cash flow expansion? If you do, have you ever heard of, I promise you guys, when the person says no, you just opened up the door for more information. Okay, please put that in your notes. When you're piquing interest, you're not trying to present, guys. Stop trying to present. All you're doing is trying to see if they want more. That's what piquing interest is. It's not you trying to present. It's not you trying to Q&A. It's not you trying to explain. It's not you trying to break it down. You got to get that out your system. What Chuck is saying is simple. Ask a question and follow it with one of our buzz phrases: income shifting, cash flow expansion, land banking, private banking. Those are the things that make people go, no, what is that? Now, a lot of times you get some smart ass every now and then. Yeah, I know exactly what that is. No, you don't. Explain it to me. You see what I'm saying? So that's how I do it. I say, explain it to me. Whereas when you shift your money around, no, that's not what it is. But I just like to have fun with it. And put that in your notes too. Have fun when you peaking. If you're making peaking interest a chore, your business will never get off to a good start. It can't be a chore. It can't be something where you like nervous and scared and worried about their reaction. Get your nervous jitters out the way and just learn how to ask questions. All right. Anybody want to role play with me? I'll show you some role play. Y'all know I love role play. All right. Ms. Davis, you always ready. I know you ready. They're gonna think you're one of my favorites, which you are. Okay. All right, Ms. Patterson, here you go. Ms. Patterson, come. Let me make sure you're in a position where we can come off mute. Ms. Patterson, come off mute for me. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what we're about to do, this is my text message, or this can be over the phone, but I'm going to say the same thing. You ready?
Yes.
Okay, let's do a phone call, but this would be what I would text to you also. Hey, Ms. Patterson, how you doing?
I'm fine. How are you today?
I'm good. Listen, I know you're busy. You're sitting down.
Yes.
Have you seen this income shifting concept that's sweeping the nation?
No, I have not.
Okay, basically, people now are getting wealthy by getting their money back from the people who took their money. Does that make sense? In other words, if the government gave you more money back, would you take it?
Yes, I would.
If the banks gave you more money back, would you take it?
Yes, I would.
Okay, listen, you have to get on the line with my business partner, Ms. Davis. Ms. Davis is pioneering this income shifting concept all across the country. She's been trained by like the Oprah Winfrey of income shifting. You know about Oprah, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Okay, she's been trained by the Oprah Winfrey of income shifting. I'm new, but I want you to hear it from her so we can start getting this money back from the governments and banks. Is that cool?
That's cool.
Now, guys, what I want you to understand is this. I never say the same thing twice. What I'm trying to show you is when we give you a concept, just stay within the concept. I didn't say, have you ever heard of income shifting? But what I said was, have you heard about the income shifting that's sweeping the nation? Did y'all hear that?
Yeah.
Right? Now, what I did after that is I immediately brought my friend, Miss Davis, into the conversation. Not literally, but figuratively, right? I let Miss Patterson know, you're not gonna be talking to me. But I got my good friend, Miss Davis. She has been trained by Oprah. If y'all aren't dropping a celebrity name in there after you peak, you tripping. All right, Chuck is back. Chuck, give me a mic check.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Okay, good deal. So we just did a quick role play, man. You rebooted, you good to go?
Yep. I need the screen back.
Okay. Oh, you need the screen back. Okay. Now what we're gonna do, Chuck, you're gonna pass it to Rich, and Rich gonna pass it to Sean. You know what I'm saying? So y'all, when y'all become hosts, just pass it to the next person, okay?
Cool.
All right, so you know where we left off? I was just doing some peeking and telling them about asking questions, and you can take it from there.
There you go. Ms. Patterson, great job too. Awesome.
Thank you.
There you go. You got the screen.
There we go. Okay, cool. All right, you guys, so sorry about that. Technical difficulties, but you know, we're gonna keep it moving. So that is the foundation. Again, it's really just about understanding what our role is and staying in that particular point. The great thing is you don't have to be the presenter. All you have to do is pique the interest and get them in front of the information. Now, the question is, how do I build my function? How do I become better at that? Simple, training. Training is the key. Putting yourself in position to hear the different things, the things that we're doing right now. Super Saturday trainings, perfect. Conference calls, you have local leaders that you have direct access to, where they can put 2 or 3 of you guys on the phone, they can put 2 or 3 of you guys on a Zoom, and you guys can just practice amongst yourself. You don't have to be an area director. You don't even have to be a senior director to help your team get better, right? Webinars, game changer. If you're not registered for game changer.
I had to jump in. Changes. You got control. You got to put the screen back on you, okay? Because I can't do it no more.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Okay. All right. Change your spotlight.
Bam.
Okay.
There we go.
All right.
Right. And how do I mute everybody? Hold on. We got recipients.
Yep. You got control.
We're gonna mute
everybody back out.
Yep. Bam. We muted all. There we go. All right, you guys. So when it comes to building your foundation, hold on, just so I can be sure. Can y'all still hear me? Give me the thumbs up. Y'all can hear me okay? Okay, perfect. All right. So we're going to build up the foundation by simply training, getting better. Keep doing it. Game Changer. You have to register for Game Changer. It's going to be in January, right? We got 3 months to get there. Register for the event now. Set goals for what you're going to get done before the event now. Run like a scalded dog until you get those goals done so we can celebrate at Game Changer. You got this, the industry is built from event to event, right? So not only set a position goal, set a dollar amount goal. If you want to be at $50 a day, we got 3 months to get there. That's simple to do. If you want to be at $100 a day, we got 3 months to get there. We can get you a game plan on how to get it done, but you have to first make that step in the commitment of at least showing up. So go to GameChangerATL.com and register today. Not tomorrow, not next week. When are we gonna register? We're gonna register today. All right. Second thing you can do to build your foundation is write down what you're gonna say. I know a lot of people are so nervous, because of course, once you get used to it, you have different ways of coming with the conversation, right? But until then, just write it down. Call up your new business partner. You just start saying, hey, let's practice together on how we're gonna pique interest, right? What are we gonna say? Just so you can get the jitters out, right? And it's the thing. Once you do that, once you create the function and you understand what your function is, you'll grow a feel for the business. The feel for the business. And the feel, I use the Invisible Woman. Why? Because she has 2 very specific abilities. One, she can make her total body all the way invisible, completely invisible. That's how the business will become to you. The business will just be natural to this is just what you do. At this point, you are no longer in MWR. but MWR is now in you because your conversations will be different. You'll be able to react to things differently. Once you get to this point, no one will be able to knock you out of the business. Let me tell you how comfortable you'll be with MWR, that it will just be part of your conversation. I'm gonna give you a prime example. I was getting my haircut yesterday, and people were, of course, doing political talks, and one of them mentioned something about taxes, right? That's all he said. I was like, look, young brother, let me tell you, taxes take the first 1/3 of your income off the rip. Think about all the taxes we pay. We pay property tax, sales tax, Avalon tax, government, county tax, state tax, local tax. 1/3 of your income goes to taxes off the rip. So think about this. It's going to be very difficult for you to become financially successful if you're giving away 30 cents of every dollar you make. So I'm just been blessed enough. I figured out somebody showed me some strategies to keep more of that money back into my pocket. So, you get your paycheck, you got your gross amount, your net amount, and you get mad about the net, you actually giving that money away. But there are ways you can keep it. Go ahead, Doc. That's why I stopped. See, that's what some of y'all would mess up. See, some of y'all would jump on it right about the business right there. I had that exact conversation, and then I said, go ahead, Doc. Do you fine? Hold on, let me mute all. Yeah. Okay, I think somebody appreciate it, right? You don't have to jump on people about the business. I had a simple conversation because I believe in what we do. I have a feel for the business. And then I stopped, and I told the guy, go ahead, line me up, give me right. And kept on going. Now, what do you think that young man was thinking for the rest of the time I was cutting my hair? He was trying to figure out, how does he keep more of that money in his pocket, right? And guess what? I didn't just say it directly to him. I had the conversation loud enough that everybody heard it. So the person next to me, the barber, the person sitting in his chair, the person on this side and this side. I'm not aiming and hunting. I'm not fishing with a fishing pole. I fish with a net. I just threw it out there. And I walked off. And you know what he said? Hey, man, let me holler at you real quick before I left. Hey, let me ask you, now how does that work? How do you do that? You guys are too busy aiming them. Just throw your knowledge out there. When you get a feel for the business, it will flow just like that. Don't think if you're brand new that's going to happen today. That might not happen today. You might not be comfortable enough with it today. But just know you have a feel for the business. And at this point, because now the business is invisible to you and you're a part of the business, her second ability is she could create a force field around herself to protect herself. Once you get a feel for the business, no one can knock you out of this business. At this point, no one can knock you out of this business because you understand too much. You have too much knowledge on what we teach. That if you get out of the business, you're going to be like, this is just stupid. Why would I give up my Schedule C, and my 1040 form because something's not going the way I like? Right? But you got to be in long enough to get to that point to build a feel for the business. And I also think with her ability of creating force fields, she can throw her force field and protect somebody else. So once you get a feel for the business, not only can you protect yourself, you can protect your team. Right? So when you hear somebody ask your team member, when they say something like, man, that sounds like one of them pyramid things, you be like, whoop, let me take care of that for you. Come on over here. I got you. When they say something like, man, shoot, if you do that, you're going to owe on your tax at the end of the year. Zoop, let me take care of that. You knew, I got you covered, right? All those things that we hear, now that you have a feel, not only can you protect yourself, you can protect your business partners, right? So the question becomes, how do you build the field? How do I get to this point? The only way to get to this point of building the field is really simple. Just do it. Do what? It. What do you mean? The business. Just do it. You have to be okay with going through the part of failing. You have to mess up a little bit. We can't be perfect day one. And the more we mess up, the better we get. Think about this. Anything that you failed at in life, you've learned a very great lesson from that failure. You learn more from failure than you do success. So be okay with failure. Stop making excuses. Stop making excuses like, well, my people need this kind of conversation. Oh, I got to wait. My people need this. My people going to need that. Let me let you know, you ain't Moses. You don't got people. Right? We all know the same type of individual. Just understand that in order to get better, you have to do it. And professionals practice more than they play. They practice more than they play. A professional football player gets paid millions of dollars. They practice at least 7 to 8 hours a day to play a 2-hour game. They practice 7 to 8 hours per day to play 1 2-hour game. They practice more than they play. So be okay with practicing and be okay with messing up. You guys understand that's how it works. And as you get your feel, you'll become more comfortable with inviting people. I'll help you guys with one quick thing, right? As you do your private Zooms and you're working with your leadership is going to ask you to participate in the Zooms. Let me help you guys out with getting people to show up, right? Because some of your cousins, some of your friends, I know you might invite them 3-4 times, they never show up. This is what you do. Say, hey, look, I'm working with my mentor tomorrow evening, and I'm helping with the presentation. Could you do me a huge favor, because I know you love me? Could you just show up to the presentation just so you can see how I'm doing? You can see how I'm doing the presentation. I know you'll be honest with me. I want you to just to see it. Call your mama, cousin, sister, friend, brother, and have that conversation. I just want you to see it. Just jump on so you can see me work with my mentor. Right? I just want you to see it so you can let me know, things I can do, or let me know if my posture is right, or how my conversations work. I just want you to see it. But guess what? They're going to see a presentation. Right? They're going to see a full presentation. And at the end of that presentation, they're going to hear 3 things. Number 3, it's not for you. Number 2, you want to be a customer. Or number 1, but at least they got in front of the information. So as you continue to grow and build in the business, your mentors are going to ask you to participate. Don't run from that opportunity. Don't run from the opportunity to help with the call. That's how you grow your field, is to do it. You're not supposed to be perfect. And I promise you, your leadership will never put you out there to make you look bad. We're going to guide you through the entire conversation. And if you heard it 3 or 4 times, it's the same information. All right. So if you guys out there have never done or never participated or helped with the call, giving the testimony, hosting the call, or participating, like Ron was doing earlier with his new business partner, give them a thumbs up and say you're going to participate on one of them this week. Let's see who's going out here trying to win, because the only way to do it is to do it. That's the only way to build the field, right? Then last, you guys, I got to hurry up. I had a little break. I got to hurry up. My bad. The last thing you do, after you get a feel for the business, there will come a point in time. I don't know when it will happen. I don't know how it will happen. But after your field becomes that confident, that natural to you, you will create a flow for the business. And I use the Human Torch for the flow, because he had the ability to turn his whole body on fire. Whole body on fire. And he could fly. He could shoot fire from his hands, right? The Human Torch, right? Once you get to this point, you are the deal. You give off an attraction that makes people watch you. It's a certain confidence. It's a certain swagger that's developed because you know that you know that you know that you know that you're helping people. You know that you know what we do is blessing people across that field is something different. Let me show you. Let me give you an example of when you see somebody with a field. Let me see. I'm sure there have been a point in time where you've been in a room and someone walked in the room. You didn't know who they were. You didn't know what they did for a living. But when they walked in the room, you noticed them. If that ever happened, you give them a thumbs up, right? If that ever happened where you just see somebody walk, be like, man, I don't know what he do or what she do, but man, who is that? And it make you ask, who is that, right? That's that aura that you put out because you are so confident in what we do. It will happen, but it doesn't happen day one. So if you're brand new, be okay with understanding that's not going to happen day one. It's not going to happen day 5, but there will come a point in time that it will. So when you walk in the room, people will be attracted to you. They're going to ask what you do for a living. Man, I bless people with income shifting. You ever heard of income shifting? They're going to ask you the question, but you have to build to that particular point. And I'm so excited because I know some of you guys are real close. Some of you guys are just getting started, so you got something to look forward to, but know that it does happen. All right? And how do you build your flow? How do you build the flow? It's only one way to build the flow. Only one. Really simple. Don't quit. That's the only way. Don't quit. Because again, it happens for different people at different times. You cannot quit, because when you quit, understand, you're not quitting on MWR. You're not quitting on the organization, the extra digit. You're not quitting on us. You're quitting on you. The only person that's going to really, really affect is you. And we can't want it more for you than you want for yourself. So understand that even successful people have to struggle at some point in their career. Everybody does. Struggle creates strength. If you're not struggling, you're not stretching yourself far enough. Struggle creates strength. You don't build the muscle by doing what you know you can do. You got to push a little bit further. So we're building you and building the strength within you. All right? So this is what we have to do. We have to identify the stages of where you are. So this is what next. What's next? You have to identify what stage you're going through. So be able to figure that out. Okay, I don't feel comfortable when someone asks me about income shifting. That's a function issue, right? I get nervous when people ask me to speak on a conference call. That's a function issue. You gotta know what to say, or that's a feel issue actually. Where I gotta say my testimony enough because it's already happened. Your credit score went up. Why are you nervous? Right? That's a feel. You gotta continue to say it. Right? When you say, well, I'm kind of nervous. I really don't know if this business is gonna work for me. That's a foundation issue. You got to build your foundation up stronger. So identify where you are in the process, and each stage builds upon itself. So each one will continue to build. And this is what you guys have to remember. Most people desire a life they have not yet earned the right to live. They want the lifestyle, but don't want to go through what it takes to get there. They want to be like Oprah or have what Oprah had, but don't want to do what Oprah does. So it's be, do, have. Right? A lot of people have it messed up. Have, be, have, do, be. Right? They say, if I had what Oprah had, I do what Oprah does, not be just like Oprah. You got to be just like Oprah, do what she does, then you can have what she has. So it's the opposite way around. So you got to make sure you flip that around. And this is what I'm going to leave you guys with, because I went a little long, so I had a little technical issues. I apologize about that. But look, this is what you have to understand. In this process, you have to be okay with understanding how failure works. You're not supposed to be perfect. It's not going to be right every single time. But understand, a lot of people look at success and failure like they look at success on this side, and they look at failure on this side, right? So they think success is the opposite of failure. Who can agree that that's kind of how you look at it? You want to work towards success and away from failure. Who can agree that that's kind of how you look at it? Give me a thumbs up, okay? Let me help you guys with that. I'm about to bless somebody real quick before I pass this out. Let me bless somebody with that. Success and failure are not opposites. Failure is not the opposite of success. The opposite of success is mediocrity. It's not doing nothing. That's the opposite of success. So what you're working towards, say, I'm working towards success and I'm trying to get away from failure. That's what you're trying to do. But what you have to embrace is that it works kind of like this. Failure is a part of your success, right? But what most people do is they fail, then they quit. They fail, then they stop. But right behind failure is your success. But you have to work through that failure. You have to be willing to push through it, because that's where the growth happens. That's where the development happens. That's where you learn. So stop running from the failure. Just say something. If you mess it up, it's okay, because failure is not fatal and failure is not final. It's just part of the process.